Okay, so not much to talk about, right?
Slow day.
No, slow football NFL news day following a very quiet divisional round in the playoffs, as far as I can tell.
Yep. Nothing crazy happened.
Should we rank our favorite Uma Masume horses today, Tom?
Yes.
All right. See you guys on the other side.
Oh, baby. We here.
We're still...
You in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is GPS. Yeah. Well, news broke. Well, I thought, listen, we were going to have a lot to talk about before the news broke this morning. But
yeah, great for Wednesday.
But breaking news, the Buffalo Bills have decided to fire their head coach, Sean McDermott, and promote, not only retain their GM, Brandon Beane, but promote him to head of football operations. And here's the thing that you learn something new every single day, Brandon, right? You know, like
yes.
We are just trying to figure it out and be like, wow, the league just presents so many nuances.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Sean McDermott was an admiral. So in this statement that the Bills released about the firing of Sean McDermott, Sean has done an admiral job.
Well, maybe that's a direct quote, though. Maybe whoever typed this up had to do the quote verbatim. Maybe whoever delivered this quote misspoke, but they're like, I can't.
It's coming from the ownership, right?
Compromise my journalistic integrity. I got to write admiral.
Because here we go. Said owner Terry Bagula, Sean has done an admirable job of leading our football team for the past 9 seasons. And that's the thing, too. Even if he used the right word, admirable, right? That's still like that is not that much. He did admirable.
He did all right.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I did not know that there was a difference between those two words. So I could own the Bills. I could easily own the Buffalo Bills.
You know what, buddy? Honestly, I think so. And listen, we'll talk about these divisional round games. From an objective point of view, I understand them wanting to move on from McDermott, right? Of being like, okay, sure, you're kind of having this, I don't want to say complacency, but it seems like you're plateauing. You're not able to get over the hump to get to the Super Bowl. I get that. But in my humble opinion, to not only retain the GM, but then promote him, the guy who constructed the roster, and Brandon, you and I have been talking about this for weeks, that this is probably the worst iteration of the Buffalo Bills in the playoffs that we've seen in a couple of seasons, right? Between their run defense, right? Their lack of wide receivers, probably not the best version of them. And the fact they still were able to win a playoff game. And on top of that, going to overtime, even though they had a cajillion turnovers. Yeah, this one doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me in terms of just the structure that they're maintaining in Buffalo.
If they're promoting Brandon Beane to president of football operations, does that mean they're going to be hiring a general manager, or is he just going to do?
I don't know if he's doing
both jobs. Because
he's leading the search for the new head coach.
Yeah, to be like to play, I guess, I don't know, devil's advocate. If he's moving into that role, then let's just assume you recognize he does some things very well for your organization. But you also need a new general manager and head coach as you make this change. And maybe a new general manager can do the thing you really want your GM to do and spearhead a good team of scouts and talent evaluators to draft correctly, to really give your team a chance to succeed. So maybe that's in the works there. I don't know. Yeah. The Bills, though, kind of feel like the type of team that would just elevate him to that new role and then just leave the GM spot vacant, right? But hopefully for Bills fans, this firing means they'll bring in a new head coach and a new GM, and then get some fresh eyes in that talent evaluation process, the approach to free agency, because one thing that's hurt Buffalo is all the misses at wide receiver or what lack thereof. I think part of their issues this season have been injury related, and that's affected many teams. But also this is in line with John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin in terms of what I think the fan perspective is here, and that's thank you for your service, head coach.
Yeah.
We appreciated it, but it's time for us to move on, right? Like I think fans they've been toying with this idea for a couple years. A couple, of my mods here are big Bills fans and in the Discord. So like we get a lot of Bills talk there, and they've had issues with McDermott for a while. And it's not that he's a bad head coach. It's just that this team has not been able to get to the Super Bowl, and they have Josh Allen. And when you do that over and over again, something's got to change. It was a brutal loss. It was the toughest loss this weekend for any team. The way the Bills lost, I think what it meant to the Bills players losing that game, it was tough. I've never seen a team so down after a loss the way I saw like the Bills in their locker room. So it's tough because Sean McDermott, he did a hell of a job. He came in and he took the Bills to the wild card round. First year.
Yep.
They hadn't been to the playoffs since 1999 before Sean McDermott came in. They draft Josh Allen. I think maybe the best thing Sean McDermott did was stay patient with Josh Allen early in his career, where he was kind of volatile, where after one and a half seasons, everybody was ready to write him off. They gave him time to develop and marinate, turned him into a contender. And man, that is a brutal spot to be in, where you're very good at your job, but you are not good enough to get your team to the Super Bowl. Like that's almost like a curse in and of its admirable self.
Nailed it. You crushed it. And end quote. Nailed the talk.
Shut up.
Yeah. And again, like that's what I said, right? Like I understand from the viewpoint of like, all right, it got old. We have seen this with other teams, right? Where they have done, we fire our head coach, we keep our GM, or we keep our head coach and we, vice versa. But this just feels like there were specific points on the roster that were not strong this year, right? Yeah. Getting the deal done with James Cook, that aged very well, right?
Yes.
Excellent job. They had the number one rushing attack in the NFL. Excellent job. And even if you look at Saturday's game, right? I mean, the amount of turnovers that they have, Josh Allen should take a lot of responsibility for that loss, right?
Yes.
At the same time, one of the reasons why you're in this position is because of Josh Allen, because you also look at some of the weak points of the roster, whether it's the run defense, whether it's at wide receiver. You mentioned missing on some wide receivers, though I will say the signing of Brandon Cooks has worked out pretty well, except for that one lack of catch. But it just...
even bringing Trey White back was a really smart decision for him. Sure. I don't think Bean's the worst GM out there. I think it's easy to point your finger when you have a team as good as the Bills every year and they just can't get there. And you're asking really tough questions. And it's like, is Brandon Bean the worst GM? No, he's actually been a very good GM for the Buffalo Bills. Yes, there have been draft misses. There's things you can point to, but that's any organization, that's any team. You have to say, is there a better candidate out there than him? Can we insert that role? Can we have those two? Can we have a president of football operations and a general manager kind of working together? cohesively, or is that too many cooks in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Like the John Harbaugh power structure with the Giants right now is kind of fascinating. That's why that deal took a while to come together. And the weird thing too is honestly, like if you wanted to make a case, this might have been Sean McDermott's best season as a head coach in the last couple years by getting this team to overperform maybe a little bit. I think the one decision in that last football game that cost McDermott was being aggressive right before halftime. So the Broncos had just scored a touchdown. There's not a lot of time on the clock. And Josh Allen fumbles. You can't put it on Sean McDermott that Josh Allen was kind of careless with the football while he's running. And it was Nick Bonito who forced that fumble. And he was like, I noticed that Josh Allen, when he runs, he doesn't secure the football a lot. He's like, we watched that on film. So you could say that's something that hasn't been corrected with Josh Allen via coaching. Also, if you have Josh Allen, of course you're going to be fucking aggressive because you have Josh Allen. If Andy Reid and the Chiefs are in that situation, you bet your sweet ass they're trying to get downfield quickly to get 3 points themselves. If that's Sean McVay, they're probably doing the same thing. So I don't really blame him. But hindsight, you go, just kneel it down. You get the ball coming out of halftime. But dude, like those are the crazy decisions.
And that 3-point swing lost them the game.
Lost them the game.
It literally lost. I mean, we were sitting here right before halftime, and I was like, if they lose this game by 3 points, it was like what, less than like 20 seconds left, and they couldn't stop the clock. Like it just, that was very dumb.
Yeah, and I mean, but like that game was kind of just crazy.
Yeah,
the Broncos had little Jordan Humphrey drop a touchdown on their opening drive. That's 4 points that they definitely would have liked to have at the end of that game. Like,
but at the same time, offsides, and they got a fumble, and then that wound up getting negated.
Yes, they got bailed out by that offsides. Like, and then it is kind of crazy that we have something that is equally important to be discussing about that game that is not Bo Nix breaking his ankle on the third to final play.
Yeah.
Sean McDermott getting fired is massive news. It's going to reshape the Bills' next 5-10 years. And then Bo Nix, who played his ass off in that game, played as well as any quarterback this weekend, gets him in a position to win a couple times. And then on just a little run, a designed run, breaks his ankle. And we don't even know like how that news like came to fruition. Nobody believed it at first.
No.
Because typically when a human breaks their ankle, they come off the field. We would have had a moment where we go, something's wrong with Bo Nix. We did not have that.
Yeah. No.
Instead, we were all celebrating. And then
10 minutes
Schefter, and I was like, wait, what? I saw it from Schefter. I checked the real Schefter account, and then I said, let me check Ian Rappaport too, just to make sure.
Just to be sure. Dude,
so Jarrett Stidham's going to the championship game.
That is true. I want to talk about the game in a hot second. Real quick, just to cap off the McDermott talk. Holy crap, does this make the Buffalo Bills an attractive head coaching option?
It would have been way more attractive than the Giants' job.
Yeah, Harbaugh's gonna be like, actually, I signed it with my left hand, so I don't know if it really counts.
Yeah, I used the Biden signer.
Yeah, he's got the auto pen in there. But I feel like it's interesting, too, because now I just talked about in this reaction video, you're going to have coaches that are going to decide, all right, do we want Lamar Jackson as my quarterback or do I want Josh Allen as my quarterback?
Yeah.
And you look at a guy like Clint Kubiak, right, who, especially after Saturday's game, his phone's got to be ringing off the hook, right? He is likely to become a head coach during this head coaching cycle. It gets real interesting because you don't see many quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, have that vacancy. So
yeah,
I think the Bills will be an attractive option, while I definitely do disagree with keeping Bean. Because again, like you look at just the deficiencies of that roster, and that is the GM's job, is to build out that roster. Yeah. And I do think McDermott, there's other times I think that you could have let him go because of these playoff losses, but I don't even think this one's on him. This is not the worst playoff loss that they've had. Like, you're blaming coaching for.
Yeah, James Cook fumble. Not really James Cook's fault, just like an incredible hit by Alex Singleton, but a fumble. Yeah, Josh Allen lose a fumble that cost 3 points, but is a 10-point swing in a minute. Yeah, Josh Allen throw a bad interception.
Oh,
That first deep one that PJ Locke basically had an eternity to kind of just run over and snatch. And then you had the interception in overtime. But that's not what I'll criticize like Josh Allen for. It was the play before. He throws a ball that's not really catchable to Brandon Cooks. That would have been a big first down for him. It hit the ground. Cook like almost secured it before it touches the ground. And in regulation, he has Dalton Kincaid or Dawson Knox wide open, and he just overthrows them. He sails a pass there. So
yeah,
they had 3 opportunities or 2 really good opportunities to win that game, once in regulation, once in overtime. Twice in overtime, but then Jaquan McMillan made just an insane interception. And it's not like, that's not Sean McDermott right there. That's just a really good quarterback being this far off on going to the championship. And it happens. Unfortunately, it just seems to happen to the Bills every year. This is the 3rd season in a row they lost in the playoffs by 3 points. Like, that's tough.
And it's also like getting into that game too. I want to talk to you like how you feel about the Broncos and their performance, because I will say that touchdown that Bo Nix threw to Marvin Mims, that might be one of the best throws I've ever seen him throw. Like it was an incredible throw. And you want to talk about clutch and all the crap that Bo Nix has gotten, that throw, that was a big time freaking throw. Yeah. We'll talk about Caleb Williams, who also, good God, it was one of the most insane throws I've seen in a long time. But yeah, I mean, how do you feel? We'll talk about the AFC Championship. But how do you feel like the Broncos performed getting all those turnovers? Because their second half offense was so stagnant, man. They got 3 points off the immediate turnover, and they didn't score again until that Marvin Mims touchdown in the 4th, and then obviously in overtime.
Yeah, the Broncos and the Patriots kind of both did this weird thing where they generated all these turnovers, but they did not generate a bunch of points off the turnovers. Yeah. And, the Patriots ultimately, finished the job decisively against the Texans. But yeah, starting the second half, they strip sack Josh Allen in the red zone, and then they can't score a touchdown there. That's the one that would have haunted the Broncos, I think. But like we've seen them do that shit all year long. Like, that's not surprising. Sure. That's just kind of their MO. I think Sean Payton deserves a fair amount of blame for the offensive struggles at times. I think there was 10 total carries by the Broncos running backs against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. Like, we thought the Bills would lose in the playoffs because some team gashed them for 200 yards on the ground. Sure. And we would have said, fair play. Like, that was a weakness. What were you going to do to fix that this late in the season? Nothing. Sean opted for fucking screen pass, swing pass, like behind the line of scrimmage throws so many times.
That first drive in overtime was maddening.
Where, yeah, it's like, okay, and I think he started doing that because he's like, I keep running it on second down. Let me just throw it for a 4-yard loss instead. Like, that's the shit about Sean Payton that drives you nuts, because for every really nice play call, play design he has a series where he just leans on the wrong thing. Yeah. We had back-to-back carries to Jaleel McLaughlin and RJ Harvey that went for 12 yards. And then we didn't see either of those motherfuckers get a touch again after that, Tom. And thank God, RJ Harvey in space is incredible. And I think you saw there was that, I believe it was, I can't remember if it was the game time or the lead taking drive late, or if it was that overtime. I think it was the overtime drive. They throw it out to Harvey in the flat again, but he makes a dude miss. Then he breaks a tackle, and then he runs for 20 yards in a first down. And it's like, okay, you got to get him in space, and he's really dangerous. But when you're down a couple receivers against a team that sucks at stopping the run, just even if your first rushing attempt only gets you 2 or 3 yards, run it again. I don't think Sean ever called back-to-back runs that outside of maybe it was get the first down with Jaleel and then they got the first down with RJ. The other thing like that annoys me about Peyton is Pat Bryant goes down with an injury. Troy Franklin goes down with an injury. And then who was the stud in that game? It was Marvin Mims. 93 receiving yards, caught that touchdown pass. All season long, we've said, why isn't Marvin Mims more involved in the passing game? And this, you saw, like, he's probably the second best ball catcher on that team.
Yeah.
Like, get him the rock. And the only reason he got the rock is it was forced upon him. So anyway, it was a great win. We lost Bo Nix. I love this team. I'm excited for them to play the Patriots. A revenge game for Jarrett Stidham. Oh, I got to believe in that. The next 2 GPSs, Tom, I will be talking about why Jarrett Stidham's going to lead us to the Super Bowl. But right
maybe
now,
convincing yourself, but yeah.
We are quite literally in purgatory this week.
Yeah, you're in purgatory.
Sorry, I took a lot of space there, but that game was awesome. I mean, I felt bad for Bills fans, but I felt just elated for Broncos fans, for the Broncos, for Bo Nix. And man, it's taken away from him.
Junior saying that the Bills are not going to make the playoffs after firing McDermott, one of the worst receiving cores last year, and it got worse. Bean getting promoted while McDermott getting sacked is a joke. Again, I think it's just, man, do you have to nail this draft?
Yeah.
You have to nail this draft and again, just the Bills being the Bills and having Josh Allen and having also that run game, they are going to be a very desirable landing spot.
Yeah.
So you have that. Like, there are going to be coaches who are like, no, like, I want to come and coach in Buffalo. But yeah, it comes down to roster design. And to get a promotion out of that, and when we're talking about the deficiencies in this roster, talking about the really bad run defense, talking about the bad wide receiver core, yeah, seems like failing upwards a little bit. Just
know what would be funny, Tom?
Hey. That's what the ref said when we thought it was a catch.
What if Brandon Beane names Joe Shane as his general manager? He pulls Joe Shane away from the Giants and brings him back to Buffalo.
Bring back Brian Dable too. Why not?
Dable and Shane went to the Giants at the same time, and that looked like such a nice move. Like, oh yeah, this guy that was with the Bills came under Brandon Beane, knows Brian Dable. Like, this is gonna work.
Yeah,
obviously it didn't. Yeah, what did the Bills do? Like, they've got to go offensive head coach.
Kubiak has to be one of the top guys.
There's also Davis Webb here in Denver.
McDaniel might be, I don't know, because he's getting head coaching calls, but
McDaniel's interviewed for like every OC and head coaching.
Yeah, he's doing both. But again, like, that's another one. You look at OC positions, because that's why I thought McDaniel was going to get a job, right? Yeah. It was going to be as an offensive coordinator. And like, you look Eagles, you look at Lions, Bills, I think, are on that list of just like, damn, this would be a real fun spot to be an offensive coordinator for.
Yeah.
Harbaugh was only going to last one more week, according to their ownership, and Tomlin did step down. So,
dude, really, I mean, we've never seen 3 coaches like this get all canned in one offseason.
What's like a third of the league?
Yeah. Well, I mean, just Harbaugh, Tomlin, and McDermott. 3 winning organizations. 2 of those teams have insanely talented quarterbacks. Like, all at once. Like, I started working, a Bills script for tomorrow. And it's like the last guy was probably Mike McCarthy leaving Green Bay, right? Where it's a good head coach who's had Super Bowl success there. Sure. Aaron Rodgers at quarterback. They move on. The Packers' job was like, oh God, this doesn't happen very often. Before that, John Fox in Denver when Peyton Manning was still here. You go maybe back to Marty Schottenheimer getting canned after his 14-win season with the Chargers and losing in the playoffs. Like, would you? All right. You're a head coach, Tom. You're one of the hottest young. I mean, a lot of these coaches are younger than you right now. Think about that shit, dude. Realizing I'm as old as Joe Flacco is really hard to pill to swallow this year, my friend.
Hey, Sean McDermott's 51. I'm 35, pal. All right.
Yeah, but Kubiak's, these other guys out there, Davis Webb.
How old's Clint Kubiak?
How old's Clint?
Clint's 38. So suck it, Perna. Suck it.
He looks
35
younger than you. He looks younger than you.
Don't try to age me up. Just because you're 41, you don't bring me up with you. I know I got the gray hair. But
fair enough. That's what I was trying to do, 100%.
Yep.
I'm insecure about my own midlife crisis.
Good.
All right, you're the hottest offensive OC out there. Yeah, you are so hot. You're in calendars. They're like, let's get this dude shirtless and let's raise some money for charity, which is on brand for you.
Sure.
Tom Grossi, offensive genius for the Seahawks right now.
Oh,
Six-pack abs. Sold $1 billion worth of calendar, things for charity.
In the
Every
first quarter.
team wants you.
Got it.
Well hung as well. It's between the Ravens and the Bills for you. You have both offers on the table. Which team are you choosing, Tom, and why?
It's a great question.
Yeah, because I was writing this Bills thing, and I'm like, this is the most appealing job there is. I completely forgot about the Ravens at this point in time. Because, and no offense to the Ravens, that is an insanely tempting job, but there's just been so much shit that's happened.
It's true. Ashley with a fitting.
Yeah,
listen,
Zach Taylor are like, woo, guys.
Zach Taylor's done an admirable and an admiral. You know what? Zach Taylor has done an admiral job, and so has Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
Hold up 1 second. So
at least with Zach Taylor, you can go, Joe Burrow's been hurt. We can give him one more year.
1 year more.
Don't blink. If you're a blinker, cut your eyelids off.
Okay. So here's what I'm looking at first. Before I even look at rosters, right? I want to look at the divisions that they're in.
Yeah.
In the AFC North, Steelers are probably going to suck for a hot minute, right? Because we'll see. Who knows what they're going to do at quarterback.
They need a quarterback.
They need some things, right? I think they're just going to be bad for a little bit. You got the Cleveland Browns. Then you got the Cincinnati Bengals, who will be healthier next year, right? Joe Burrow, hopefully he's going to play a whole season, probably going to be the favorite to win that division. Then you look at the AFC East, the Dolphins. We'll see what goes on with the Dolphins, right? Like they're doing a thing. The Jets are the Jets, right? Maybe if they nail this draft, but that's a big if, right? You got the Patriots making it back to the AFC Championship game. Like they are coming on up. So I feel like the divisions are somewhat similar in terms of just like, all right, you got one team that could take a step, and the other teams, they're trying to figure it out. Then you got your quarterbacks with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. You want to put like 1A, 1B. I don't even care how you rank them. They're going to be great. You look at the run game. I love Derrick Henry. He is getting older, though. James Cook, you're going to have a little bit more mileage with him, right? And you have the number one rushing attack, so that's pretty nice. The defense of the Baltimore Ravens has been a bit up and down at times, right? But then you look at the Buffalo Bills, number one secondary, theoretically, but also terrible run defense. Wide receivers, oh boy. Zay Flowers got to hold on to the ball. He's an electric player. I really like Zay Flowers, but we'll put them on an even keel. I feel like I'm leaning Bills, and a lot of it's because of James Cook. A lot of it is because you have a run game that you can kind of supplement, even if your wide receivers are not great. And I love Derrick Henry a lot, but it's just I think that there's less time with him. And also in the AFC North, I feel like the Browns still have a good defense, while the Dolphins have a good first half defense, and the Jets, again, are the Jets. So I feel like it's the Bills like slightly edging out the Ravens. That's where I'd go.
Fair enough.
True.
I'm going Bills too.
Yeah.
Although the one advantage Baltimore has right now, if you're a new head coach coming in, two advantages. They missed the playoffs. So it's a little easier for you to go in and achieve expectations or even overachieve for 2026 because they missed it entirely. So they just got to get back to the playoffs.
Could see it.
Plus, they got 28 mil in cap space right now. So they have some more room to work with in free agency. And I think that's important because the Bills, they're kind of always in this position, especially after they paid, Joshy Allen. They're going to have to make some tough roster decisions just to get cap compliant. And then they're not going to be able to be super aggressive in free agency. But you said Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, 1A, 1B. Regular season, I agree with that. But I think it's been proven over time. Josh Allen's been a better quarterback in the playoffs. This last game, not necessarily like his
this last game
example, but he still had he gave the team a chance to win late. Like Josh Allen's making plays. And this was his first turnover in the postseason in 427 snaps. Like he's been very good in the postseason, and I think he's been a better postseason quarterback than Lamar Jackson. So I give Josh Allen that edge. But if you don't go in there as a head coach and win in the playoffs immediately, like, are you allowing this new head coach to have like a year to figure it out? And I don't think you can. I don't think you can offer that. Like, specifically in your division, you're watching Mike Vrabel just fucking inject steroids into a Patriots team that we all thought they were going to be better with him alone. They spent a bunch of money in free agency because they had the cap space, and everything they have done has worked out perfectly. So I think there's more pressure with the Bills' job.
Yes.
I think they're equally attractive. I think maybe the Ravens, you're a little more certain about the roster overall. Like there's a few less missing pieces you have to figure out.
I feel that.
Either way, they're so close.
It is. I mean, but you have the owner, Biscotti, coming out and saying like, I'm going to give them leeway. He's like talking like 5-6 years. He's like, unless they're like really, really bad. So you're 100% correct. Like they are going to have a grace period. But for the Bills, they're firing a winning head coach who won a playoff game this year. They're like, no, like we need to turn this around within 2 seasons and get right back into it. I would like Jim Leonard. I mean, that'd be a lot of fun. I would be happy with that.
Dude, Davis Webb and Jim Leonard to the Bills.
No, for the Packers. For Leonard. So the thing that I'm interested in is because we were talking about this with Matt LaFleur, because Matt LaFleur also got an extension over the weekend. Not super duper surprising. I have no idea how long it actually is or how much money it's worth because they usually don't release the money, and the Packers haven't released the details of how long he's going to be there. Right. But the argument that I made was that like the Packers right now are in this window where they have Micah Parsons, right, and Jordan Love before their contracts get like super duper crazy in like 28 and 29. So they have like this 2-season window where it's like, hey, if you were going to try and go win a Super Bowl, this is the best time to go and do it. And if you fire a head coach, right, it's going to take some time for that new head coach to implement their scheme, their playbook, etc., especially when you're replacing a longtime head coach. And the example that I use is when the Packers fired Mike McCarthy. When they fired McCarthy after he lost to Arizona, right, that 2019 game when 2019 season, where Matt LaFleur comes in, they make it to the NFC Championship game, get blown out by the 49ers, but they're still utilizing the Mike McCarthy playbook. It's not until after they draft Jordan Love and then you start to see Matt LaFleur go, yeah, like, no, here we go. And Rodgers is like, okay. And then he wins MVP 2 years in a row, right?
Yeah.
So there is going to be a learning curve. I mean, you even look at the Seahawks last year, right? They get Mike McDonald. That team is good, right? They win 10 games, but they lost to the 7-seed Packers last year, and it wasn't particularly a good game. And now they're one step away from the Super Bowl. It does take time, even if you are a good coach, to implement what you want to implement. And so I think that for the Bills, yeah, you have Josh Allen. He's a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but it's going to take a little bit. Like it's going to take probably a year for them to get back to, or at least see the full vision of whatever head coach they bring in. So it's going to be a little time.
It's going to be, it feels like it's going to be a transition year for the Bills. Unless they get, man, if they like Mike Vrabel would have been such a good Bills head coach. Obviously, it was written in the stars for him to return to New England. This is the most important decision the Bills have made since drafting Josh Allen.
Sure.
They need a killer at head coach. They need a guy who is going to be just fucking ruthless. And I don't know who that's going to be. It's like we don't really know enough about the young options out there. You know what I mean? Like, I love Davis Webb and what he's helped do here in Denver for Bo Nix. And I think Davis Webb has gotten a lot of credit because he was with the Giants, I think, as their quarterback coach. Well, I forget exactly what his role was, but the season Daniel Jones played his best football, the season that got him his contract, like Davis Webb gets a lot of credit for that there. But you don't know, like going from, he's not even a play caller. He's a quarterback coach under Sean Payton. Like there's a big leap there from that to being the head coach. Like Kubiak probably a little more seasoned and ready for it. But what's kind of wild too is, was it Saturday night? The Falcons announced they had hired Kevin Stefanski as their head coach, right? And man, Stefanski's got to be kicking himself in the dick. You see Josh Allen become available, and you're like, damn it. I chose the other team that wanted Deshaun Watson, and I could have went and got I could have had Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Two things. One, the dates are not finalized, but it's going to be like the end of June, like around the 25th, but I'll release the full schedule when I finalize it. Once the season's over, it'll probably be around the draft, and a medium. Two, the exception to the rule of everything I just said about Mike McCarthy is a guy like Mike Vrabel, right? Mike Vrabel, this is his first year coaching, but he also has been a head coach before, right? Obviously with the Tennessee Titans, but he also came in and, man, I mean, that just fit like a glove. So there are exceptions. What I'm saying is not gospel. However, like it does usually take some time. And I have to imagine too, like we're probably going to see a better version of the Patriots next year, even if they don't get back to the AFC Championship game. Like I think we're going to see a more inline vision of what Mike Vrabel wants to do, just the longer that he's with New England.
Dude, the Patriots too, like they've, along with the Broncos, the Pats and the Broncos had this narrative that they had an easy schedule, and they did have an easy schedule. The Broncos had this weird caveat of they're beating all these backup quarterbacks, right? Like they played Jake Browning instead of Joe Burrow. They played Mariota instead of Jaden Daniels. They got Trey Lance late. They got Chris Olajuwon for the Chiefs. And as soon as the Patriots have their first real matchup in the playoffs, CJ Stroud throws 4 interceptions in the first half. And now they're going to the championship game against a very good Broncos team, but they're facing Jarrett Stidham. So the Patriots, if they win that game, will have had one of the easiest paths to the Super Bowl in recent memory. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's not a knock on New England because they're a very good football team, as you saw against the Texans. Sometimes that's okay. And even like the Chargers, they played the Chargers in the wild card. But we saw like the Chargers overachieved all year. So I think we're getting robbed of what would have been such a fun matchup between Drake Maye and Bo Nix. 2 second-year quarterbacks in the championship game. The injury gods are cruel, and that sucks.
Well, and that's the thing too. Like the Bo Nix afterwards, it just deflates the crap out of the AFC Championship game, right? Because it's exactly what you said. There's 2 things. One, and don't take offense to the second thing. But the first one is like, all right, we're going to see Stidham versus, we could have seen Bo Nix versus, and it would have been just a really fun matchup. Yeah. But 2, it's like, oh, damn, if the Bills had won that game, then it probably would have been a better AFC Championship game just because the division rival, it's now, it'd be the rubber match between the Patriots and the Bills, and so it just, as football fans, the Bo Nix injury just brings everything down because then it's going to be what if, and who knows if the Broncos wind up winning and they go to the freaking Super Bowl, man, that's still going to be, unless they win that thing, it's going to, because if they go and face the Seahawks or the Rams and they
give me the Rams in that game. I do not want.
Why? You don't want to play the Seahawks?
I do not want Stidham having to play that Seahawks defense. No, sir. Yeah, from a narrative, Josh Allen and the Bills against the Patriots, it's a far more interesting game. And it's only because Bo Nix got hurt. Bo Nix is healthy, then, it's equally interesting. Like, but it's tough. Now Stidham can play out of his mind, and honestly,
this is his first playoff game too, right?
Dude, this is his first start in like since.
No, I know he hasn't started a while, but yeah, this is
filling in for Russ. But yeah, first playoff game.
Yeah. Dude, he would become a legend in Denver.
Oh.
Is he able to knock off the Patriots next Sunday? They're going to build statues of him.
We still love Brock Osweiler for what he did when he was filling in for Manning. Brock Osweiler beats Tom Brady and the Patriots in overtime in the regular season, a key game that helped give the Broncos the 1 seed that playoff round. So yeah, and obviously the advantage for Stidham is this week against the Patriots because he has not started. They don't know how to prepare for him necessarily. Josh McDaniels he was there when they drafted Stidham. He wanted Stidham there with him in Las Vegas. So, McDaniels will know what Stidham can do well. But I think if the Broncos win and go to the Super Bowl, at least whoever's playing in the Super Bowl has a game to go, okay, this is where we can try and gauge how we defend Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah.
I think there's this weird part of Sean Payton, too, that's probably a little excited that and he loves Bo Nix. Don't get me wrong. Bo Nix is his guy. But are you telling me Sean Payton isn't excited to try and upset the Patriots with a backup quarterback? Not for just the challenge of it, but for the Sean Payton legacy? Like, if Sean Payton can win a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback,
you just got to run downhill.
Walk into that coaches meeting come fucking April with just his nuts out. He's going to be dragging his nuts over every coach in there. The ones that liked Sean Payton are going to fucking hate him after the coaches meeting. Like, he's going to be unbearable if he wins a Super Bowl with Jarrett Stidham.
Yeah. See, and that's where I'll disagree with Perna a little bit. In terms going up against the defenses that they did. I mean, I remember just a couple weeks ago with one Brandon Perna was afraid to face the Chargers in the divisional round. Because even with their flaws, and that offensive line was a flaw, the Patriots defense played really damn well in that game. And while they weren't the most impressive, because Drake Maye had a couple turnovers, and even yesterday, going up against an elite defense, the only reason why that game was so close was because the Texans defense is so damn good.
Yeah.
Right. It's just, and we'll talk about CJ Stroud because good God, man. But yeah, I feel like they are at least tested against very good defenses. Why I think it's going to be a good game against Denver, right? It's just going to be, all right, can Drake Maye limit his mistakes, right? And on top of that, can they move the ball effectively? So, because I think that they can handle Jarrett Stidham. I don't know if they're going to get a ton of pressure because the Broncos offensive line is pretty damn good. But, real quick before we get to this, because this will be a very quick game, 49ers Seahawks. Literally open after the opening kickoff, huh?
Okay, yeah.
Dude, holy God. I didn't think the 49ers were going to win, but now in 2 games with them, they didn't score a single touchdown. They got a total of 9 points. That was a mauling.
Yeah.
Just absolute beat the piss out of them. And you want to talk about the Seahawks, now they're going to be getting the Rams, which I think is the best version of the NFC Championship game that we could have possibly gotten. The Bears, we'll talk about that game. I think it would have been a fun game, but I want to see this. Because the last time these two teams played, it was a classic. So very excited for that. But this, holy God, man, 49ers deserve a lot of credit for getting to this spot. They won a playoff game. They beat the defending Super Bowl champs, but they had no shot against Seattle on Saturday night.
Yeah, Seattle, in the truest sense of the phrase, they won this game in all 3 phases.
Sure.
Special teams started immediately.
Yep.
Rashid Shaheed, what an offseason or a midseason trade that turned out to be. That was his 3rd touchdown he scored for the Seahawks on special teams.
It's him and Jacoby Myers, talk about those midseason trades, completely changed the dynamic of that squad. And now the fact that Shaheed could beat the Rams in the NFC Championship game, Saints.
Yeah. And Shaheed had some hype when Seattle, traded for him, but those were a couple of the more under the radar sort of trade deadline trades. So special teams, right away jacks up San Francisco.
Yep.
The Seahawks defense just suffocates them. Like, Niners couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy was the 49ers leading rusher, if you want to know how smothering Seattle was. There's been a couple like stats floating around about Brock Purdy. He had like 413 rushing yards, basically, as he's just trying to scramble to make plays. He held on to the football longer than he had in any other game in his career. And I think there was when they presented that stat, it was dating back to any quarterback going back to 2016. And I think that was in the fourth quarter. And I think there was more time for him to hold on to the ball after that. So I think Seahawks secondary just shut down any sort of semblance of a passing attack as well for the 49ers. And then Sam Darnold just played efficient game managing football, didn't do anything stupid, moved the ball when needed, and they got a Kenneth Walker performance. Like, I thought we were going to be seeing this type of shit from Kenneth Walker 3 years ago. I was like, or 2 or 3 seasons ago, I was like, dude, this guy's insane. And then the run game just could never manifest. He had some injuries. This year, it looked like at times Zach Charbonnet was even the better option. This was a Kenneth Walker game. And if the Seahawks if they can run the ball like this, there's no way the Rams are going to beat them.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, the last 3 weeks of the season, and this is what they did to the 49ers last time too. Like, in week 18, they ran Sam Darnold didn't have to do diddly squat, right? No. Here, he threw the ball 17 times, and Charbonnet goes out in this game, right? And so then Kenneth Walker is just a monster. He has a hat trick, and he just runs all over them. And so I completely agree with you. They wind up finishing 11th in rushing yards before the season, or at the season end. But like, they were inconsistent throughout the regular season. But if the last 3 weeks of the regular season and now this playoff game, I agree with you. If they're able to run the ball like this, I don't know who beats them.
Yeah.
Because they look like world enders. And Bronco wants to know Denver's chances on Sunday.
Realistically, I think they got a fair shot. They're not going to be the favorites. But Denver got to where they are by being a good football team. It wasn't just Bo Nix carrying them, and he probably never even got the proper credit for how well he played, especially in the second half of the season. Bo Nix had a rough September. That's when we were like, wait, what's going on with Bo? What's going on with the offense? He was not playing where he was at the season before, at season's end. But the Broncos are a very complimentary football team. The difference between, like right now, like the Seahawks, they're firing on all levels.
Yep.
And it's very clear. Denver does this weird thing where when one side of the ball is playing like shit, the other side picks it up. We've seen it with the defense at times this year. We've seen it with the offense. When the defense is playing bad, they have had a hard time playing great defense and great offense at the same time for stretches. Their special teams was kind of a nightmare for the first half of the season. But that changed and developed. So they can win this game because they can play well on offense. They can play great defense. And Will Lutz is as good a kicker as there is.
Sure.
Their special teams improved. So, yeah, they can win. They won't be the favorites. And you shouldn't be a favorite if you don't have your quarterback starting the game for you and you're going up against a team like the Patriots and a guy like Drake Maye, who has been in the MVP conversation for, the second half of the season.
Yeah.
That's Friday when I'm all in on Jarrett Stidham.
It's only take a few days for you to convince yourself. So, dude, I mean, Christian Gonzalez was a monster yesterday. Yeah, let's talk about that game. Holy God, man. I picked the Texans to upset them. A lot of people did, and it was really just because of that defense. And guess what? Their defense played really darn well. But CJ Stroud, oh boy, there are going to be some interesting conversations about CJ Stroud. And I want to be very clear too, right? He has this amazing rookie year, right? Phenomenal. Since then, though, his offensive line has not gotten better, right? Tank Dell out for this entire season. They have no run game this year at all. They were at least able to run the ball against the Steelers, right? With Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, but they had no, look at that. 14 carries, 17 yards, averaging 1.2 yards a carry. And also, again, they had no Nico Collins. And it's not because I'm a CJ Stroud apologist. However, I do think there is some context here as to, okay, CJ Stroud, you want to look at the guy is getting slammed back there almost all the time, right?
Yeah.
He panics. Dude, over these past 2 weeks, it has been just brutal to watch him panic. And because when he's under pressure, he will do anything with the ball, right? He will not take a sack. He will just try and get rid of it. You saw this in the Steelers game. He threw, I think it was in the red zone. He threw a really bad pick, and it was just like, oh, let me just get rid of it. And he did it again in this game too. I mean, 4 interceptions is horrible. And one was not his fault. I think it went off
somebody's hands.
Yeah, his hands. And what was that? I forgot what his last name is, right? Hutchinson, I think. It went off his hands.
Hutchinson, yeah.
Yeah. It went off his hands, right? And there's one that's just a really damn good play. It's a bad throw from him, but it's a really damn good play by the Patriots secondary, who like made that diving interception on the sideline on the left side. Like, makes a good play. But holy cow, man. This is a Super Bowl caliber elite ass defense, and their offense couldn't even do the bare minimum.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons CJ struggled. A lot of fair football reasons. But what we watched was CJ Stroud not give his team a chance to win.
Correct.
Like, he just didn't. And I forget if it was the first or second pick. It's a play where it's the pick six. It was the pick six to Marcus Peters, right? Is it Marcus Peters? Oh my God. You and I are like, we watch these games.
We watch these games. So many
we talked about all these players. What the fuck am I thinking? Marcus Jones. Sorry. Marcus Jones. Is it Peter Pan who caught his ball there? Yeah. Oh God, I can't remember any of these guys' names. Marcus Jones. Pick six is him. The throw is a terrible decision.
Yep.
He's hit as he throws.
Yep.
And in that moment, you do not want to take sacks as a quarterback, typically.
Oh.
But that is a moment where taking a sack is a much better option than a pick six. And CJ Stroud, at this point in his career, doesn't mean he can't figure it out. He does not know when the play is over or broken. And you're right. He did not look comfortable or confident. And yeah, I would say that if Bryce Young or the Texans quarterbacks, they would have had a better chance to win that game.
And here's the thing, dude. Like, so he's still under his rookie deal, right? So he's going to be back this year, right? He's 25 years old.
Yeah.
And then next year, they can exercise his 5th-year option. There's no need to make like a rash decision. That being said, you have this elite defense for only so long, right? Like, you're looking at their window. And I feel like you get Tank Dell back, Nico Collins is healthy, you invest in the O-line, maybe you're going to see improvement. But with it next season, dude, it is pure evaluation of CJ Stroud to see if this guy is the future. Because ever since that rookie year, things have gotten worse for CJ Stroud in his play, the team around him, or at least on the offense. And I think while you have to, give him a little bit of grace because of that, dude, you can't. The mistakes that he makes, they're bad. Like, they're real bad. And it's exactly what you said. The fact that this game was even close for as long as it was, and they couldn't stop turning the ball over. Oh my God. Like, that was infuriating to watch.
Congratulations, Houston. Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback in 2026. Yeah, and because Nico Collins not playing in this game was huge. That's a big blow to the Texans, and that's the guy CJ leans on when he needs a play. The other guy, Dalton Schultz, injured in that game, hurt his calf, so he was out of the game as well. Like, that's... I don't care what quarterback you are, specifically in that weather environment. Those are two guys you need on the field. And Woody Marks as well, who was a huge reason they were able to just stomp the Steelers. He fumbles in the red zone in this game. At a point where the Texans still had a chance. Like, Woody Marks, costly fumble in that game. So there's a handful of things that just did not go to the Texans' way. And that just happens to Houston every year in the divisional round. 7 times they've gotten there, and they have lost all 7 times.
Yep. I mean,
Tomlin to the Bills.
Yeah, you got to trade for him if that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
And then talking about the Patriots, if you could just switch over there to the Patriots side. Like Drake Maye, right? Has that, oh my God, an insane catch by Booty.
Diggs and Booty.
Oh, Booty. Yeah,
One-hander by Booty.
Dude, one-hander, brings that in. Beautiful, beautiful catch. But got sacked 5 times, right? Yeah. And this is the exact amount that he's got sacked with the Chargers too. And that's the concern I have going up against the Broncos defense. If they're able to get after Drake Maye, then I think you got a shot there because you're going to try to have to move the ball against a good defense. And there's a very good chance that the Patriots go to the Super Bowl and they're going to have to play the best defense in terms of points allowed, and that would be the Seattle Seahawks. So you talk about easy roads, man. I don't know, because they're going up against some really damn good defenses, including the best in football. So if they wind up making it there, Drake Maye will become a legend in New England if he is able to at least, get this done, because that competition's there.
Unless the Broncos and Rams go to the Super Bowl, we're getting a Super Bowl rematch between any combination of teams. You got Patriot Seahawks would be a rematch, Patriot Rams a rematch. The Patriots, if they do beat Denver, they should hope they get the Rams.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not really a knock on the Rams. They're a very good football team. They just, at this moment, appear to be more beatable than the Seahawks. But then if the Rams beat the Seahawks, you're like, who the fuck are they going to play between New England or Denver that's hotter than the Seahawks right now?
Yeah. And we'll see how the Seahawks play, man. Like, I think the Seahawks will definitely be favored heading into Sunday, but it's a division. You never know. You never know. But I don't feel good about the Rams right now. Like the Rams, talking about that game, this was an ugly game, right? It's 10-10. They don't score in the third quarter. There's not a whole lot that's going on. They don't really, you got to give a lot of credit to the Bears defense, man, which they have had issues this year. They played really damn well, for especially what was expected of them. Stafford doesn't even have a freaking touchdown. And there was just times where it was like, okay, they can't move the ball. And Caleb Williams, the first interception, it's basically an arm punt, kind of whatever. It is what it is. It's not the best throw. But in Caleb, it's so funny because you look at Caleb Williams, who's like, Aaron Rodgers was the guy I used to look up to and, modeled my QB play after. It feels like he is very similar to like that Brett Favre-esque of, hey, you're going to live and die by Caleb Williams. He is going to make the most sense. Like that throw to Cole Kmet where he is just running backwards, man. And I'm like, oh, he's just throwing up a prayer. First of all, horrible play by the defensive back for the Rams. I don't know what the hell you're doing there. He's just like, and terrible play. But to just get that ball to him and it just land sensational. But then you have an interception in overtime. Some of that you could blame on DJ Moore, who just stopped running, and that unfortunately has happened multiple times this season.
Yeah, it was weird.
The Rams, they won the game. They deserve credit for the only team on the road that won this weekend, right? They deserve some credit there. All the talk this weekend was, we're going to be playing in the cold, blah, 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 blah. But this offense definitely got neutralized, the number one scoring offense in the NFL by a defense that gave up the most amount of points out of all the contending playoff squads.
Yeah, the Rams, both teams were affected by the weather. I think the Rams, though, the way they operate, it hurt them a little bit more. I thought Jaquan Brisker was excellent for the Bears. I thought Kyler Gordon was excellent for the Bears. You talk about that final touchdown to Cole Kmet. That was Kobe Durant in coverage there. And Kobe wanted like a push off by Kmet. But what I honestly think happens there is Kobe Durant's looking downfield and he sees Caleb Williams basically scrambling for his life, like 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I think he honestly believes that play is over. I think he just thinks the play's fucking over. And when he realizes that ball is in the air coming to him, it's too late because he let Cole Kmet get behind him.
Yep.
And that's an example of like a guy like Caleb Williams. And it's Williams, it's Mahomes, it's Josh Allen. It's those guys who extend plays. It is so tough to cover for as long as you have to at certain times.
Yep.
I don't think Durant's going to make that same mistake again. And then Cam Curl gets a clutch interception there for the Rams. And you just can't give Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay another opportunity in overtime. Because they're like, okay, we fucked up the first series. We will go down and end it now. Devontae Adams makes a great catch at the sideline there.
Thank you,
Puka
Devontae.
Nacua makes a catch, and it's over. But the Rams, now they play a familiar opponent. They'll go into Seattle. The weather won't be as bad, but it's Seattle.
Correct.
The weather could be an issue in that game as well.
Sure.
And it's going to affect the Rams more than the Seahawks there, I believe. But the Bears this weekend, the Bears lose, but this is a team that
You okay with that, Mac?
has optimism, right? Like, it is a bad loss, but hey, we got Caleb Williams, we got Ben Johnson. If Ben Johnson can learn to take some goddamn points
Holy cow,
on
man.
the opening drive, I get it. Live by the sword.
2 weeks in a row, though. I mean,
Yeah.
they were able to get away with it against the Packers, right?
Yeah.
Because they just choked that lead away. But dude, like continuously going for it on four, and it literally was all or nothing. The ones that they're converting, they're getting touchdowns or they're just missing it blatantly.
Yeah.
And yeah, at some point, you just got to take the field goal. You have the kicker, just send them on out there. You're in the playoffs, because then
3
it's a different
points
ball game.
in the playoffs in 2-degree weather. Unforgivable. It's just fucking dumb coaching.
Correct.
Like, Ben Johnson does 98% of the things very well. The Lions, that was their philosophy, their approach. That 2%, he fixes that. They're a more dangerous football team. Their defense will be better next year if they can stay healthy.
And that's the thing, too, with the Bears, right? If they go out and get like a premium edge rusher or something like that, that is definitely going to help their squad. But exactly what I was just talking about with head coaching, like the Bears heading into this season, you were like, okay, hopefully they're contending for the playoffs, right? They won a lot of games in the fourth quarter, and it was by slim margins, a lot of comebacks, right? They tied for the most. I think they were tied with the Saints this year with the amount of comeback victories. The interesting thing is going to be, right, is can they get back to this spot? But I imagine this is going to be a better version of the team next year, because you just have another year of Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. You're going to go out and you're going to get some free agents. You're going to go through the draft. Like Loveland, holy crap, what a draft pick, right? Like, he wound up working out real well. They reinvigorated their run game, right? They're a top 3 rushing attack. And before that, Swift wasn't doing so hot with them. So I feel like just by process of being there another year, having another offseason, they're going to get better, but their schedule is going to get tougher, right? And winning those kinds of games the way that they do is usually not super sustainable in the NFL. And sometimes it's like the Lions from a few years ago, man. Not the ones where they lost to the Commanders, but the one when they went to the NFC Championship game. Bears, you're about to find out. Like, it is difficult to be consistently good. I do think that they have a good enough roster. I think Caleb Williams took all the steps that you want to see this year. He didn't have the greatest playoff performance, consistently, but he showed up in the fourth quarter when he needed to, and that's how they were able to, get back into this game. And that's how they were able to beat the Packers. So we'll see, man. But yeah, it looks like the Bears, they'll have different challenges coming up, but you got to be pretty damn proud of the way that they performed if you're a Bears fan. Yeah.
Bears, optimistic even after a loss. Texans should be moderately optimistic even after a loss.
Yep.
The 49ers, you can argue injuries. If we are healthy, we'll be just fine next year. And I don't know if the Niners will ever be healthy again. That's why the Bills loss really stands out as the one you're just like, fudge, dude. And that they should be optimistic every year with Josh Allen, but in terms of a team that it just feels like they missed their chance, that's the Bills this year.
And that's the problem, dude. I mean, like, you look at the Packers with Aaron Rodgers. Thank God they were able to win a Super Bowl early on in his career. But every year it was, well, there goes another year of Josh Allen. There goes another year of Aaron Rodgers, like, just getting older and older and older. And like, Josh Allen's still a young dude, but there are only so many times where like things have to be perfect. And I'm not gonna lie, last night after that touchdown of Cole Kmet, I was like, holy crap, are the Bears gonna go to the NFC Championship game? Like, are they gonna get? Sometimes, it's just when you miss those games, it's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's real tough.
Do Bills
So,
fans,
nameless.
would you be happy with if your next head coach is Brian Flores?
I feel like
Brian Flores?
Mm.
I know,
Yeah,
I want Young. I want Coobs or something.
See,
Dude, Kubiak winning
would
a
be
Super
crazy.
Bowl with Josh Allen would make me very happy.
Yeah.
That'd make me very happy.
See, I disagree with this, Weeb, because even if we get a rematch of the Seahawks, they're completely different teams. Wildly different. It's a rematch between the same two teams, but completely different rosters.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I think you get any combination of the Super. It's going to be a fun one. Again, the thing that takes some of the wind out of the sails is you don't have Bo Nix, so you don't even get to see, Denver of oh man, here's a young quarterback going there. But I don't know, man. I still think it's going to be a good AFC Championship game in terms of it'll be competitive. I don't think it's going to be a blowout just because of the defense of the Broncos, but maybe as an OC. I don't know if as a head coach though.
It feels like one of those games where it's going to be a really good first half, solid half of a third quarter, but if the Patriots win, they just kind of start to run away with it late.
I can see that.
It's 10-10 at halftime, and then the Patriots win that game 23-16 or 23-13, some shit like that. But
Johnny Karks goes, Brian Flores is going to lose the job to Brian Dable again. There's going to be a text.
Nice.
Chiefs fans would love that.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah. But again, dude, you want to talk about defenses? Seattle, Denver, freaking Patriots. They got a good defense too.
The four best defenses were in it. Seattle, Houston, Denver, and New England. So
I don't know, man. It's gonna be an interesting championship Sunday. I'm very excited though. I'm excited for the NFC Championship game. I hope it's not a runaway. I don't think it will be. But yeah, the Rams, they're another team. I know we talked a lot about the Chicago Bears, clawing back in that game. The Rams they're winning these close games, and they definitely deserve some credit for that. But ever since that Seattle game where they blew that fourth quarter lead, they just have not looked like they are on paper.
Yeah.
But
at least we know they can hang with Seattle, right? They split the series with them this year. They have, unlike the Niners recently.
Perna, this is for you.
Abinadanici signed by the Broncos.
Check it out.
We got Stidham. We got Ellinger. We got DiNucci. Send us your best, New England. Send us your best.
Yeah, it sucks, man. I mean, it's just it's a damper. That's all. It was like Brandon was rooting for the Bills.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah, it's not. I have a lot of respect for Buffalo. I fucking love the Bills.
Yeah.
Beating them the way we did felt both amazing and it was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna apologize for being nice to the Bills.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Bills, I don't think
Joe
it should
Brady,
be.
Yeah, that's an option.
I don't know if we should go that route. I feel like, again, if you could go get Clint Kubiak, why not, man? Take a shot on him. I mean, their offense has been fantastic.
Yeah.
I think they'll be able to utilize Josh Allen. So, yeah, this is what happens. The Chiefs miss it. Dude, they're registering earthquakes. It was like the beast quake over in Seattle with that Shaheed. Dude, literally. And the 49ers scored 6 points.
Yeah, they got outscored on the first play.
Opening kickoff. Appreciate you. Perna, I'm sure you got plenty of things. What do you got coming out today?
Yeah, winners and losers. We'll be up today. Johnny Barks got his part done this morning. So we'll have winners and losers, and then probably a McDermott episode tomorrow.
It's true.
I don't think I'm going to try and kill myself to get that up today.
Yeah, you get winners and losers up. You're fine.
Winners and losers first.
I woke up early this morning to get that Texans-Patriots reaction done, and then the Bills fire Sean McDermott. So give me about an hour and a half, and I'll put out that reaction video. I just got to finish filming it. I filmed a little bit of it, but I got to finish filming it and then edit that. And then later this afternoon, it'll be every NFL fan's reaction to the divisional round. Tomorrow will be power rankings and scripted, and then Wednesday predictions. So
Bam.
We're going to get it. I'm so behind. I'm sorry. So that's just, I don't yearn for the 12s. I will say, though, I think I'd be pretty content with any Super Bowl matchup. I'd be pretty content. I think we got a decent Final Four. Like I said, I think I would have preferred the Bills just for the matchup, especially with Bo Nix being out. But
Sure.
It would have been a fun one.
Broncos,
Panthers
Rams.
fans. So Panthers fans are feeling it today. Yes, they are.
Come on, baby.
Yes, they are. Oh, dude, if McCarthy I think Roger said he's not coming back to the Steelers, though, right? That was the story, that he's not coming back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
but that'd be really funny if McCarthy goes back there and he's like, you know what? One last ride. And Steelers fans are like, please, God, no. Please. Yeah. Please.
I think the right coach, Rodgers, would consider it if he's going to keep playing. I don't think he should. I think it's time to hang it up.
If there's anybody that the 49ers are pissed at, you know who they could have really used? Brandon Ayuk on Saturday.
Yeah, no shit.
But here's the thing, Brandon, let me get your thoughts on this real quick as I get through these supers as well. Perna, I think this is your 50, by the way.
Ooh.
There you go. Oh, the curse wheel. It backfired.
It's a regular season curse wheel, okay? It's a regular season curse wheel.
Dude, if you lose to the Pats, who you curse now, and they just keep defying the curse wheel.
Yeah.
We ride and we die together.
I got thoughts on the Pats that will be in winners and losers, so.
Brandon Ayuk, he'll get an opportunity just because he's a talented player. But that contract, I think, has to be like super low, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to do with him. I don't know.
Who's going to take that shot on him?
How you take a chance on a wide receiver who doesn't want to be with a team that's very good.
Yep.
That paid you. I'd rather have AJ Brown than Brandon Ayuk. And there were rumors that Brown wanted to be traded, and I think Ayuk's got better football in him.
Yeah.
I don't know what's up.
If Allen wants out. I think it's just
Josh Allen doesn't want out.
It's just he's seen this so many times, like just over and over and over and over again. I mean, like how many heartbreaking playoff losses is he going to go through?
Yeah, Josh Allen probably puts that loss on himself more than anybody. So, Stefanski already signed in Atlanta, so that's not happening.
Stefanski's an Atlanta guy, but maybe they can get Steven Stefanski though.
Like Steven's,
they could get Steven Stefanski.
There you go.
Robert Saleh. I mean, again, you pair Saleh and McDaniel. I'd be happy with him going to the Ravens. I'd be happy with him going with the Bills. You're cooking there. Again, I think he would be a good reset for either the Titans, the Steelers are up there too. Just kind of like rebuilding that squad and just laying down that foundation. I know McCarthy would love to go to Pittsburgh. I know that.
Sure, you'd love to
Dan
go.
Campbell's not going to become available, but him with Josh Allen would be crazy. I don't know who would survive that, but it would be something. So I've seen Stranger Things. I have. Yeah, man. I don't know. It's just, who's the next coach that gets hired? Who's the next team? It seems like the Dolphins, they're in the second round with Jeff Hafley. Also, the Titans are in the second round with Jeff Hafley, too. It seems like the Titans are trying to get this done pretty darn quick. I don't think it's closed, Pyro. I just think it's Brandon Beane. I just don't think that's the right decision. So, well, listen, God forbid you speak out against that. You can only have the things in the end zone, and that's all. So, God forbid, Pixel. Huh. What if there was children watching? God forbid. Yeah, so it was like $11,000 or something. I care about it. Real quick, Perna, I know, I'm sorry. I'm trying to also just get through. I'm just behind. How do you feel about the Stefanski hiring? Because I've heard it from both ends of Falcons fans where they are like, this pisses me off, and I'm cautiously optimistic. I like the hiring of Stefanski.
Yeah. I think Stefanski was one of the better available head coaches. I think it's just hard to judge how good he was for the Browns because he was coaching the Browns. But I don't think the problems in Cleveland are really, you can point those to Stefanski. So I think it's a solid hiring. It's just going to come down to whether or not Penix can develop and stay healthy.
Yeah. I mean, you want an offensive-minded coach, right? I mean, their defense got better. I think that this is a McDermott go back to he could go to Miami. He could. Do you think McDermott gets a head coaching job right now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really Good question.
Perna got a 50.
Oh my goodness. You got to be kidding me.
Signing up. Oh my God, I'm so behind. I'm so
Yes. Thank you, Yipley. I choose Uma Masume. Let's see here. We got to get an Uma Masume clip, don't we?
You need to. Yeah, I've never seen anything from that show. So
with just some of the different competition. I'm combining words now.
Is it a show? I know it's a video game, isn't it? Or is it both? It's probably both.
I thought it was a show.
It's probably a show that they
I
turned
thought it was
into.
a show.
Yeah, there's a horse girl racing game.
Is it?
You build your horses and you pet them, and then
It's a game. I thought it was a show. Oh, it's both. Okay, it is both.
Okay, that makes sense.
We just need to have you do a let's play, and that was it.
Yeah.
So, dude, yeah, Stroud. Who the hell knows, man? Who the hell knows? It was a mess. It was a hot mess. I'll have that reaction out, but Stroud needs to. Who knows where Kyler Murray goes? Again, nobody's taking that contract, man. They're gonna have to either cut him or it's gonna be one of those things where you're just gonna offload a whole bunch of money. So I have no idea, man. I have no idea. That's him bringing Russell Wilson. Do you know how many people said bring back Peyton Manning?
Yeah. Thank you, Phillip Rivers.
What found out? Is bring back Peyton Manning. Totally fine. Tom Brady? What if Tom Brady goes, hey, Sean Payton, I'll come play one game for you just to knock out the Patriots?
Yeah. I said I would actually accept that. I would accept Brady. This is the only circumstance I would accept Tom Brady.
I would love that. That would make me very, very happy.
Yes, it failed. Patriots fans.
That's true.
Let's just hope it's not delayed, Patriots fans.
See, someone asked there. I'll let you answer this. There would be no QB controversy because Bo Nix is still in his rookie deal, so it literally costs like nothing to keep him.
I would be thrilled to have people going, should Jarrett Stidham be starting for the Broncos this offseason?
That'd be a great
problem. The Broncos will have won the Super Bowl and Stidham will have played very well. I will take that burden. Happily accept that burden. Luther.
So brave.
Yeah.
So bold.
I'll handle that, guys.
There you go. I think you're strong enough too. I think so. Yeah. Dude, Stroud, yeah. I mean, again, the Broncos can get it done. They have the defense to do so, and I think that they'll be all right. KK, that's a good call, but I think it's because Stroud did it 2 weeks in a row. And I know Caleb didn't have the best game against the Packers, but and it was also the quality of the pit. Like, again, a lot of it was just panic, man. It's a lot of panic. So that gives me some concern. That's it. Well, there you go. Gotta spin the curse wheel this week and see what happens. Bills and Dolphins, swap it out. That works too. That's it. Ryan Clark says it's absolute bullcrap that the Bills fired McDermott. I just don't get it if you're not cleaning house.
Ryan Clark said it?
Well, in that case.
Yeah, it's probably a great move then. I don't know anybody whose takes are worse than his right now.
There you go.
Ryan Clark. He's all right on his podcast, but on ESPN.
That's true. Good. Yeah. The only one that got wrong, right? Right, I should say. Yeah, I don't know, man. CJ Stroud will still be there for at least another season, potentially two. And then from there, you just figure it out.
Oh.
I don't know. That's true. It would have been a safety.
Yeah.
But do you feel any differently about that win? Sorry, continue.
Hand it off to a running back, Sean.
Yeah, I think Bo Nix silenced some people.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Malik Willis to Houston. I think he's going to have a bunch of other suitors. Also, apparently, according to the Packers subreddit, someone lived in the same apartment complex as Malik Willis, and he officially moved out. So,
whoa,
there you go.
It's over.
That's it. So, scripted should be out tomorrow. Could be Wednesday. Could be there. How are the Pats only 4.5-point favorites? Because the Broncos defense.
Jarrett Stidham's fucking sick. That's why.
That's why too. Also that one. Yeah. Hey, if the Rams win a Super Bowl, go get Devontae Adams one. Does Matthew Stafford retire, Perna? If they win?
I believe so.
I would. Just ride off into the sunset, Matthew.
It's time.
It's that steady party. That's it.
Ain't no party like a steady party. Ain't no party like a Stiddy
I'm
party.
curious to see if he's going to get some calls for head coach. Which of the remaining teams would fire their coach if losing? Nobody. Vrabel ain't going anywhere. McDonald ain't going anywhere. McVay ain't going anywhere. Yeah, no, I think you're okay. I don't think anyone's losing.
Reese Donatelli. I don't even know who that is.
That's it. Enjoy it. Yeah, we are in the other. Todd Bowles and Zach Taylor. Somehow, again, Zach Taylor, I can understand because of the injury, but Todd Bowles.
Yeah, it's actually probably good the Buccaneers didn't fire Todd Bowles. This is a tough cycle to show how appealing you are for a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Bills can do it. The Ravens can do it because they know they'll have, their pick. They'll be able to pick whoever they want. They're only competing with themselves at this point.
Yeah.
So this would be a tough vacancy cycle for the Buccaneers, honestly. Waiting a year, not the worst.
Listen, if it's Seahawks, Patriots, and the Super Bowl, I got you.
Oh, there you go.
Because then be dark side. So, we'll get that. See, I don't think it's goal. Again, I think that they go up against good defenses. They earn their spot 100%. It just sucks again because Bo Nix being injured would help that narrative, right?
Yeah.
Of like, if the Patriots wind up winning, like, oh, you didn't beat Bo Nix, or like, oh, CJ Stroud. It's just stupid, man. It's difficult to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's so
it
hard.
works out. Kick a field goal. Just kick a field goal.
Yeah, Ben. Kick some field goals.
Listen, I would love a Jim Leonard. I'd love a Robert Saleh as our DC. I don't know. Saleh might be getting a head coaching job. So I would love if someone took over for play calling for Matt LaFleur. I don't think that would be the worst thing in the world. But I don't know if they're going to do that. We'll kind of see. The number one thing, get rid of Rich Bisaccia. Please. And with that, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again on Wednesday. We got a lot of things coming out today. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna. This is GPS. And you have been navigated.
And you reached your destination.